there's anybody out there who's like sitting at those tables and you're like, I don't really know if this event is like legal to attend, guys, it's totally legal. We're just gonna do like some skits, some music and things, so come on and check it out. It's gonna be awesome. Just so you know, there's these little cards on your seat. You don't have to worry about those for right now, so you can just like stick them under your chair or whatever. All will be explained in due time. And now, would you please give a big hand for our hosts this evening, Matthew and Stacy.
Thank you, Greg. Wow. Here we go, we're on. Welcome, everybody, to the Lifetime Achievement Awards. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Stacy.
And so thank you all for coming. During this time, we're going to recognize the most successful people in the world and see some performances as well. So we hope you enjoy yourselves and don't get too jealous of all the cool talents and stuff you see on stage that's going to come before you.
So let's get started. So the first award of the night is given to a man who achieved a Guinness World Record for the most dates with different women in a single year. That's right, 416 dates with different women in 365 days. Yeah, he's suave and handsome and charming and amazing and wonderful and, sorry, ladies, get ready because the award for most dates with different women in a single year goes to Andre Chavez.
Welcome, Andre.
Thank you, thank you. Girl, if looks could kill, you'll be a weapon of mass destruction. Well, first and foremost, I want to give special thanks to my mom and pops. Because of their act to procreate life, I have inherited their good looks. I have my mom's dark brown eyes, and my dad's dark brown hair. Secondly, actually, to the girl right here, in the green jacket. If beauty were time, you'd be eternity. Secondly, I want to give special thanks to my uncle, Rico Suave. Because of him, he has taught me everything that I need to know on how to pick up girls. Lastly, actually, to the girl right there in the red pants, you're so beautiful that I don't even want to continue my speech anymore. But the show must go on. So lastly, I want to give a special shout out to Liana, Brittany, Devine, Judith, Selena, Becky, Amber, Jessie, Sarah, and Crystal, and the other 406 girls that made it possible for me to receive this award. Thank you.
He'll probably call me. Anyways, our next award is for the Breakthrough Vocal Performers of the Year. This group of individuals is so amazingly talented that you'll wish you could sing this good. And I'm talking outside the shower, because that doesn't count. Anyways, let's give it up for the Breakthrough Vocal Performers of the Year. Kim Reardon, Emily Bradshaw, Kate Corbin, Greg Coles, and our very own host, Matthew Barlotti.
Try your best, but you don't succeed. When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep. Stuck in reverse. Tears come streaming down your face. When you lost something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to
This is so beautiful. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay. This next award goes to a man with the greatest intellectual contribution to humanity. Some even call him the second Einstein. Not lying. He is being recognized for his development in quaternion cyclotomic least squares chi algorithm for solving the economic world crisis. Anyways, welcome Patrick Curry.
Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Stacey, Matthew. I really do appreciate it. It is an honor to be here this evening, really, I must say. What's so funny? Is it my accent? Jeez, okay. Anyways, I can't say I'm surprised, really. I mean, it truly is an amazing algorithm and a wonderful masterpiece of mathematics and statistics. And, I was just thinking the other day how lonely I felt. Anyways, do you mind? Can I give you a brief overview of how this algorithm works? Do you have a whiteboard? Do you have a whiteboard? I could. It's okay. Just visualize with me for a minute this algorithm. Okay. So we start out with the number of unemployed citizens in the nation we're working with, right? Just visualize it with me for me. Then we multiply this number by the square root of e to the pi. Okay. Take that result. You got with me? Raise it to the power of the golden ratio over 5, okay? Let that be alpha, but wait, it's really interesting.
Thank you.
Okay. Woo! Patrick Curry, everyone.
Wow. So, our next award is going to go to the winner of the Nobel Literature Prize, Our next award goes to the winner of the Nobel Literature Prize. And so this is such a prestigious honor that one can receive. This young woman should be very proud of herself. She can write poetry like no other. And if her words don't touch your heart, I honestly don't know what will. So let's give it up for the winner of the Nobel Literature Prize,
Nobel.
Let's give it up for the winner of the Nobel Literature Prize, Miss Meredith Santaus.
Thank you very much. Just to show my thanks, I thought I'd share one of my poems with you. This is called Paleontology. Dig deep, dig deeper. Find bones that fit, look for the cracks of age. Make a copy out of plaster. Do it faster, do it smarter, and whatever you do, don't be last. These are the things that I tell me. These are the things that I say to myself when my window is open and raindrops hit my forehead at night, sending rivers down my temples like sweat. I rip at my skin, drag a brush across the soil of my scalp, shovel out buckets of sticky clay from my knees. Looking for the universe in dry bones, I set skeletons up for show, supporting sagging vertebrae with iron rods, dangling my ribs from the rafters. Let me replace marrow with plastic and knuckles with glue. Let me set lumbar against thorax while I look for the pieces that got away, the flakes and chips that are scattered over the earth. When I come up from under, I have 13 fingers, 5 ulnas, and 8 toes. My 7th rib isn't really mine. I've pieced myself back together. The joints lock as they should. A little less cartilage is no loss in the grand scheme of my skeleton. Fixed in one position, I am a model of excellence. My arms raised, legs bent, only a few molars short of a perfect grin. And all this is dust. I was dust when this life began, and to dust I will go it ends. I try to stop the decay, the eternal impermanence, with a funny mix of wax and sap in an aerosol can, and some sentences on a fingerprinted plaque. My eyeless face looks to heavens I can no longer see. And all I do is dig at the ground below me, dig deeper until I can find a heart to fit behind my ribs. Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith. Wow, that was awesome. Now, we have a huge surprise for you all tonight. A guest who is with us. Someone who has worked harder than any other athlete that I know to win this award. The Athlete of the Year is going to go someone who is very famous for their achievements. He won the Tour de France 7 consecutive times in a row, and I thought that winning the spelling bee was an achievement. It is a sport, so for those of you who like to spell, know that that is a sport as well, and continue your dreams there. But we don't have a speller with us tonight. Instead, we have Mr. Lance Armstrong. Come on up. Sorry, for a second. Bear with us.
Well, Lance Armstrong is not coming tonight. He's in a bit of legal trouble, so we're really sorry about that. He's really successful and has to deal with some legal issues at this point in his life. So, Matthew, let's move on.
Okay, well, so then our next award will go to the most talked about celebrities of the year. These are two young ladies who have 13 billion tweets in their name. I only have 5, so for all of you out there tonight who would like to tweet my name and help my journey to 13 billion, I would really appreciate it. But this performance is not about me, but this is about 2 of the most talented ladies who can dance. They can perform, and they can do pretty much anything better than me. That's probably not saying much, but let's give it up for Elise Kowalczyk and Adrian Daniels.
Oh, this is just such an amazing honor. I just want to thank you so much. We want to thank you by just giving you a little taste of what we do. Can we oh, please do. Thanks. Thanks. Break a leg. I mean, not really.
But should I fall? I'm still free from it all, it all, it all, it all, it all.
Round of applause, I pause to take a photo op. None of it's real, it's just Photoshop. Crop out my flaws and my failures, my aches and all my ailments. And now I'm picture perfect, take all my dirt and conceal it. Really, I'm no better than any, but they pay me a pretty penny to sit and look pretty. Not too big, not too skinny. Be whatever these fans demand of me, cause otherwise they probably wouldn't love me. The show goes on even after the curtains close. I smile and pose, put my signature on their clothes. They lift me up so high that I'm surely about to fall. The higher that I go, the more unforgiving they are. No grace and no exceptions, all they want is perfection. The man in the mirror can't even see his reflection. You live for their acceptance, you die from their rejection. But even if I fall, I fell in the right direction.
Can I slide? The curtains fall, credits roll down the street. Critics laugh, the haters all, and say about should I fall? I'm still free from it all, it all, it all, it all, it all.
Life is a cage, a prison to everyone's approval. Fight for acceptance and struggle so you don't ever lose it. But living for their acceptance has gotta stress it. Insecure people obsessed, believing in precious ladies, spending time on their faces, painting pretty lines. To you and me it's makeup, to her it's better skies. You look up in her eyes and see a soul cry, cause living for other people's gotta live in a lie. Hadn't slept in a day, closed his eyes and he prayed someone would miss him if he felt like a star in space. But I'm sure they replace him, just a name and a face. They say they love you, but it's easy to fall from the crates. Live for everyone else, got you losing yourself. Why be a slave when you were made to be free from the guilt, to be free from the shame? You are more than a name. If you go down, you got the freedom to get up again.
Wow, incredible job. One more round of applause for those amazing ladies. So our final award this evening goes to the richest man in the world. This man probably has more money in his pocket than I do in my entire big account. That's probably not a lot, but still, it's okay. You get the point, he's really rich, and he can rap. Ladies, what more could you want? What more could you want in a man? Our richest man in the world award goes to Eli Winshare.
Thank you so much. I mean, you know, I really appreciate this. I mean, I know I bought the award, but it's not any less special. So just thank you. Here's a huge stack of cash waiting for you at home. Just go ahead and just enjoy that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, please. Now, what they didn't tell you is that I'm also the best rapper in the world. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I bought the stage, and I'm just so excited that I finally have a chance to use it. It's just so hard. It's great. Anyway, I'm the best rapper, so I'm just going to give you a little sample, okay? Anybody want a sample of my amazing rap? Now look, I understand my rap has a massive appeal. Well, let's face it, I ooze swag, so you might think that I'm just about the cash like these other rappers for sale, but that's not the truth. I try to use my skills for attracting some deals so I can use the cash for kids asking for meals. I mean, maybe I can get them water, fresher than Designy, because I'm not playing games. You might call me Serrani, and I can lead you all your sons and daughters behind me, because there's no need to fear, because the Lord is inside me. No borders surround me of any form or shape. No on a song can bound me. A battle cry, a shout that is resounding should be enough to tear it down. And the sound from your mouth that you make when you yell a shout, cause the walls of Jericho to collapse straight into the ground. Yo, by the time I finish this, you'll think that I'm your nemesis, killing this front of witnesses. Right here's where the sinner is all I write in Genesis, while we be penitent. So crucify my life. God is with me when I write. I put my life up on the line just to give Jesus some shine with each and every rhyme. Reach each and every time to my people before they die. What? Come on. Now, just a little sample. Just a little sample. I thought I'd give you for free. You have to pay for the rest, but it doesn't really matter because let's face it, I own your money, so that's fine. But real talk. Now, look, the sincerity of faith is more precious than gold refined by fire. The same gold that some die to gain, for which most lie to claim. The gold that most think flows in non-stop when we rise to the top of fame. So without shame, wasting on clothes just to rock and name. It's been the same since the Genesis, the fall of man for the game of the nemesis, who made us think it's better to take from the big tree to be God. So now we stuck making a living for design of fig leaves. The fact is, the gold's nice, but ain't worth it if it means that we can only see our harsh circumstances and give our faith to a serpent. And so our self-derived, otherwise adopted purpose for life becomes pleasure and money. And see, we live in a time when it's cool to worship dead presidents, but I got the ever-present Holy One to represent me, so I'm not stuck living according to dead precedents. So what are you dying for? See, it's impossible to live with no faith. Just like you can't run a race with no pace. Even if you stand still, you grow older, closer to the end of this life. That's why I ask you, what are you dying for? Because we all try so hard, but do you even know what you're fighting for? And the fact is, even when you try to grasp it and that you think you have it, you lost it and you're confused, and that's because sin misdirects you. And that's when you come to Jesus Christ for the lesson. Because sin is trespass or transgression. You're bent. Never to hit the mark, you just pass. And sin misdirects you to the next path. See, I'll wager that if you peek a bit deep inside, you'll find God if you just ask. But the world says to cover your misdeeds with the next task. And that might keep you covered for a little bit, but we're human, we wreck fast. So if your faith is in that which perishes, then you'll be gone before breakfast. Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Now look, a time is coming when we'll see God. And you might not understand it, but the fact is you need God. And every knee will bow down and tongue will proclaim that He's God. Christian or not, you can spend your entire life running, but a time's coming when we'll all see that He's God. And it won't profit you to plead God. So what are you dying for? I said, what are you dying for? Because life is too short to place our faith in such things which will fade away and live like there's no effect when we make mistakes, but the stakes are high and your wondering eye could be the very thing to take your life. See, it's hard to quit sin because it feels so nice, but you're on the path to death after death if your faith ain't placed in Christ. I said, look, life's too short to place our faith in such things which will fade away and live like there's no effect when we make mistakes, because the stakes are high and your wondering eye could be the very thing to take your lives. And it's hard to quit sin because it feels so nice, but you're on the path to death after death if your faith ain't placed in Christ. So where is your faith director? Thank you.
Give it up for our performers one more time. So tonight's FNL, in case you didn't catch it already, is about success. This question of, do we have what it takes to be successful? And so of course it would seem appropriate that at the end of this we should invite up a really big ticket speaker, right? And I could say something to you like, tonight it's my privilege to introduce a guest speaker who does have what it takes and who has been down the road to success and has made his millions and is here to share his secrets with us. Would you please welcome Donald Trump? Right, like that's who I should invite right now. But those of you who are very observant have of course noticed that I am not Donald Trump. So, yeah. You knew it was coming, but there it is. But let me ask you this. If you could be Donald Trump, would you want to do it? Would you? I mean, I realize, yes, number one, you have to take the hair, which, that's a blow. But let's look at the stats of Donald Trump for a little bit, shall we? Okay, this man is the definition of success. He has a restaurant chain named after him. He's got a clothing line. He has a board game. He's like Monopoly. Mr. Monopoly, Donald Trump. He makes $1.5 million for every hour-long presentation that he gives. So he was just slightly outside of our price range for this evening. the man makes a stinking lot of money. He also takes people to court or gets taken to court about as often as I clip my fingernails. He's also been married and divorced and remarried and re-divorced. And he says of his ex-wives, I just know it's very hard for them to compete because I love what I do. I really love it. If that's success, do you want it? I hear things like that, and I think, well, that's okay, I'm good, because that's not the kind of success that I'm after. If you know me, you know that the kind of success that I'm usually shooting for is the academic success. And maybe a lot of you here can sympathize. Academic success, dude, that was my game. It still sort of is my game because I'm about to go start an MA to PhD program in English next year, which I'm really excited about, by the way. But I was talking to this professor of mine a couple days ago. I went down to my alma mater and I visited, and I went to talk to some of my professors, and I was like, give me advice, you know, tell me your life, because basically I want to be you. Basically, everything you've done, I want it, you know. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my professor, and he's telling me, you know, all the things he's done, all these publications that he's put out, you know. Oh, and in my third book, you know, and he says these things that I do, you know, slack jobless. And he's telling me about different courses that he's taught, and I'm like, oh, I would love to teach that course. And he's telling me about the awards he's won and the honors and so forth. And basically, I said to him exactly that. I was like, so tell me, what do I do to become you? And he said, well, to tell you the truth, there was a season for like 10 years or so where I paid almost no attention to my family. And if I could go back and do it all over again, I would have done it so differently. Here was this guy who I'm thinking, pinnacle of success, you know, Donald Trump, who gives a rip about Donald Trump, but I wanted to be him. And he said, I've been chasing this success thing. Everybody told me what success was supposed to look like. And when I got there, that wasn't what it looked like. There's a similar story in the Bible, in the book of Ecclesiastes, which is a book written by the richest man who ever lived. This is a man who makes Donald Trump look like a welfare case. This guy was a stinking big deal. And he said this about life. Meaningless, meaningless, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labors at which they toil under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been, will be again. What has been done, will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, there's something new? It was here already, long ago. It was here before our time. No one remembers the former generations, and even those yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow. He looks at life and he says, it's so pointless. The same things just happen over and over again. Here I am, I've arrived, the most successful. I've put my name on a few buildings. Everyone knows who I am, and it's all a bunch of crap. I'm smarter than Patrick Curry, you know, I'm better with the ladies than Andre Chavez. Dude, it's pretty good. And yet, there's nothing. All I do with my life is run an hour on the treadmill every day so I can live a couple of years longer before I turn into dirt. That's my life. And we get back to this haunting question that Eli asked in his rap. What are you dying for? Not just what are you living for, but what are you dying for? What are you going to do that's going to outlast you? When you get to the end of your life, will you find out that it was worth living? Or will you find out, like Meredith's poem talked about, that you've just been digging, and all you've ever turned up was bones and dust? And you know what the worst part is? The worst part is that this whole scenario that we've just painted, this is the optimistic end of the spectrum, because this is for the people who succeeded. And the rest of us, the people like me, we just try forever to get there. We just try over and over to achieve this idea of success and dream that it's gonna work out. And we're kind of stuck more like back at the Coldplay song. You try, and you don't succeed. Which, by the way, this was like the story of my life, still is the story of my life in some ways, but we won't talk about it. But more distantly in my life, there were so many things that I wanted, so many things that people would say to me, this is how you achieve success. This is how you become popular. You were supposed to be good at sports, and that was just an absolute failure. I was that guy on the team with like the second graders when I was in like 6th grade. But on the bright side, they gave me a most improved player award at the end of my 6th grade year, which was like saying, you really suck, but you tried really hard. I kept trying to fit the model of success, and yet I kept failing over and over. And I don't know where you're at. Maybe you're a really successful person at what you're trying to do. But I suspect, if your life is anything at all like mine, that you feel like there's so much more you're trying to do, that you feel like you keep on screwing up, that there's something you're after, and you just can't quite get to it. And so, we're stuck in this double bind, right? We spend all our energy doing what people tell us to do to succeed, to be smart, or be athletic, or be popular, or be hardworking, whatever it is that's supposed to bring us to nirvana. But number one, we're not sure we'll ever actually get there. And even if we do, we're not sure if we're really gonna want it. So I find myself looking at my life and asking, is this really what I want? Just this race, just this trying a little harder, is this really all there is out there for me? And if it is, then why is it that I have a longing for so much more than that? Why is it that I have a longing to feel like my life has meaning? Why is it that I have a longing to feel at peace, to feel loved just the way I am? One of my favorite authors, his name's C.S. Lewis, and he wrote that anytime we have a desire, it's because there was something created to fill that desire. So he says, are you feeling hungry? Good, there's such a thing as food. Are you thirsty? Good, there's water. Are you horny? Good, there's sex. Do you have a desire for meaning? And Lewis said, if I find in myself a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most likely explanation is that I was created for another world. That I was made to be somewhere else. That I was made to fit something else than what I see right around me. And tonight, I want to suggest that that thing that we're looking for, that desire that we can't fill, is meant to be filled by Jesus Christ. That God created us to know Him, and that in knowing Him, we'll be complete in a way that we could never be on our own. And that is exactly why nothing else will really satisfy us. Why no success, no A+, nothing will get us to where we're trying to get. And that's why even the most successful person in the world can look around and say, everything is meaningless. Because without Jesus Christ, it is meaningless. We're empty and hollow. And guys, here's the best part, is that Jesus came for us just the way we are. He didn't say, I'll take you, I'll fill you after you try a little bit harder, after you achieve a little bit more, after you succeed. After you get there, then we'll talk. But He came and said, I'll take you just the way you are. See, because the whole story of human history is about us trying to achieve something, about us trying to fix ourselves. And if you look around at the world today, we haven't done a very good job. We're still not there. And that's why God said, "You're not going to reach me by going up, but I am going to come down to you." Jesus Christ, who was God, said, "I'm going to become human. I'm going to walk your world. I'm going to live your life, and I'm going to die so that you can really come alive for the very first time." A couple days ago, like I said, I was down in Rochester. I was visiting my alma mater. And I was on my way home, and I was on a tight schedule. I was like, just barely had enough time to get home. So I hopped on the highway. I start driving 72 in a 65. 7 over is the way to go. Driving 72, and I was thinking, do I have time? Do I have time? And then I realized, I'm not sure I got on the highway in the right direction. Was it supposed to be 490 East or 490 West? And so I'm sitting there second guessing myself, and I'm like, well, maybe I should just go with it. I should just plow at 72 and hope for the best because I don't want to be late. And then it struck me, if I'm on the road and I'm going in the wrong direction, then going faster, pushing harder is not going to get me where I'm trying to be. That maybe the best thing I needed to do at that moment was to pull over and look at a map and say, where the heck am I going? And that it's only after I've found my sense of direction that moving forward has any meaning at all. And guys, if you feel like you're stuck tonight on a highway to you don't know where the heck where, the answer is not to try harder. That's what you're going to hear over and over. Just try harder. Just go a little faster and you'll get there. But maybe the answer isn't to go faster. Maybe the answer isn't to try harder or to climb higher. Maybe what we need to do is just let go and fall into the arms of Jesus Christ. Let me pray. Father God, I thank you for tonight. God, I thank you that you came down to be with us. God, that you saw that we couldn't achieve perfection on our own. God, that we couldn't be the people that we want to be. That we can't succeed on our own strength. But God, that we need you to give us meaning, to fill us up with joy, and to make our lives worth something. God, I ask that you would reveal yourselves to us. And it's in the name of your Son, Jesus, that we pray. Amen. If you are interested in learning more about Jesus Christ, I would love to talk with you. Maybe the person who invited you here tonight would love to talk with you too. I'm sure they would. But find somebody, ask some questions. Don't let tonight go by plowing down on the same highway to nowhere. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Matthew Martellotti. Would you give him a big hand?
Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate you all coming out here tonight. You may have noticed, as Greg mentioned at the beginning, there is a little card on your chair. And so that's a feedback form that you can fill out and let us know how this night was, how you think we should change if we do this again in the future. If you fill out one of those cards, you'll be entered in a drawing for some pretty cool prizes. So at this time, if you have a card, if you don't have one, there's some extra ones up here in the front. And just take 5 minutes, fill that out, and then we'll collect those. And feel free to stick around. We'll have some refreshments. And then we'll have the drawing. Yes. So I'll turn it over to you guys to fill that out. And then after we collect those, stick around and we'll do the drawings. We'll do that in like 5 minutes. Thanks again.